Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing FIFA 19's demo on the GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. I'll be doing 1080p, 1440p and 4K. To skip down at those sections of the video, check the timestamps down in the description. So first of all, on 1080p, I'll show you maximum settings with 4x MSAA, and we're over 60 frames per second all the time, not much to say on that one. Then I switched to 1440p, and this time around I lowered the MSAA quality from 4x to 2x. So people will claim that at 1440p and 4K you don't need MSAA. Well, it depends on the size of the screen and at what distance you are sitting from the screen itself. Still, we're over 60 frames per second without a problem, so in this case it doesn't really matter, we can enable it just fine. And finally, at 4K, in order to maintain 60 frames per second, I had to lower the rendering quality from ultra to medium and turn off the MSAA option, and that means that in actual gameplay we're over 60 frames per second pretty much all the time. The only moments when you will drop below 60 is when there are cinematics or you're doing a free kick with the camera being behind the player instead of above. And finally, I tested G4560 using the same 1080p configuration, which is once again ultra settings with 4x MSAA, and that CPU is still enough to maintain 60 frames per second, so yeah, it can handle this game just fine. I don't have much to say about the options menu. You can tweak the graphics options from a launcher outside of the game, and we only have low, medium, high and ultra, only presets. I would like to at least see a texture quality option, I say that every year. Then you also have MSAA options, which is the multi-sample anti-aliasing, which is very good looking, but it's a bigger performance hit to something like FXAA or SMAA that we have on other games. The other option that we have is frame rate. You can lock it at 30, 60 or unlock the frame rate, but this won't unlock the frame rate on free kicks, cinematics, menus, all that kind of stuff. If you want to fully unlock the frame rate, just go to the NVIDIA control panel and change the VSync option to off or fast sync. Those options will allow you to have unlocked frame rates even on cinematics, but the cinematics are very demanding, so whatever. It doesn't really matter that much. And at the end of the options, we can select between DirectX 11 and DirectX 12. In the previous game, DirectX 12, at least for me, ran worse, but this time around DirectX 12 gives me a couple extra frames, but DirectX 12 uses less CPU, more VRAM, so there's a trade-off for using one or the other. If you have more than 2 gigs of VRAM, I recommend using just DirectX 12, and usually for the VRAM amount, even with 3 GB, you can do 4K high just fine. So yeah, in this case, it's not really that problematic to run out of VRAM. The system RAM can compensate just fine, even if you have only 8 GB of system RAM. But yeah, overall the game is running fantastically well, as to be expected. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you keep enjoying the video, thanks for watching and see you next time.
David Alaba, James Rodriguez, Goretzka, Trot Ribery, Goretzka, this is James Rodriguez. Might appeal to Müller. Let's see what unfolds here tonight. I'm Derek Ray, joined in the commentary box by Lee Dixon, and we've got Champions League group stage, and Pulisic has it. And introducing the Borussia Dortmund side. Fairly conventional 4-5-1 setup. Yeah, that back four will be protected throughout the game with the 5 midfield players in front of them. Really important that they do support that lone striker when they do have the ball. Well, here is the Bayern side. The highly rated Manuel Neuer between the posts. Mats Hummels starts with Jerome Boateng in central defence, and leading the attack today is the lethal Robert. That will give them quite the lift. An early opening goal lead. Well, you always want to start quickly, and there's certainly a quick start there. What a finish. Well, let's take a look at this replay. The difference between a good player and some of the best players is they don't need to take a touch, gets his shot away, first time, nothing else matters but concentrating on that ball. So back underway, and this is Rice. Diallo on the ball. Mario Götze. Julian Weigl. Rice. Now, what can he do here? Given away by Pulisic. James Rodriguez. Well, really, in this great competition, there's been continuity since season 2003-2004. The same format. Remember, there used to be a second group stage once upon a time, Lee?
Well, it did, and simply it didn't work. I think the format now is certainly a lot better. It's a bit more exciting, a bit earlier in the competition. It seemed to drag on a bit, that second phase, didn't it?
James Rodriguez. Well, sometimes for a goalkeeper, it's not about the spectacular, it's about the routine.
Absolutely. Concentration. Concentration. It's all between the ears.
Leon Goretzka. It might appeal to Müller. And the cross comes to nothing in the end. Maximilian Philipp. Marco Reus. They've lost the ball, Dortmund. Leon Goretzka. Kimmich with it. Thomas Müller. Plenty of running room in the wide position. And the defender takes care of business. Tremendous intuition to win it back. And using his strength to shield the ball. Diallo on the ball. Trailing as they are. Oh, that's an interesting pass. And it's played into the centre. Kimmich with it. The ball with James Rodriguez. This is Müller. And over the touchline for what will be a Bayern throw-in. Goretzka. And options in the centre. This is Müller. And now Müller. Delaney. Can they hit on the break? I must say, no shortage of space. Here's Götze now. And it's Maximilian Philipp. He's played it out over the touchline, so a throw-in to restart things. It's with Weigl. Marco Reus. Let's see what he has in store for them. And the defender finding a solution to the problem. Marco Reus. Oh goodness, he was right on top of the situation to get the ball back for his team. The electronic board has been held aloft. 2 additional minutes here. And the counter-attack is on. Options available. Well, let's see. Does he mean business? And no problems whatsoever for the goalkeeper. And the managers will now deliver their half-time team. To football. I'm Derek Ray. With me for commentary is Lee Dixon. And we've got Champions League group stage action to bring you tonight. It is Borussia Dortmund up against Bayern Munich.
Yeah, the long road to the final starts here in game 1. Always think that if you win your home games and don't lose your away games, you've got a good chance of progressing.
This is the lineup for Dortmund. Fairly conventional 4-5-1 setup.
Yeah, that back four will be protected throughout the game with the 5 midfield players in front of them. Really important that they do support that lone striker when they do have the ball.
Well, here is the Bayern side. Manuel Neuer begins in goal. Mats Hummels starts with Jerome Boateng in central defence. James Rodriguez plays alongside Javi Martinez in central midfield. And leading the attack today is the lethal Robert Lewandowski. Marco Reus, does he mean business here? In position here to... Wonderful goalkeeping from Manuel Neuer. And it is a Dortmund corner. Over it comes. And clears his lines. It's very difficult to take your eyes off Marco Reus when he's in form. Lee Dixon, what sort of performance do you anticipate seeing from the German?
Well, when he's on the game, he gives you everything. He gives you energy, he gives you midfield runs, and he gives you goals. He's a really, really good player.
Abdou Diallo. It's with Weigl. The ball with Marco Reus. Well, it's a fine-looking Dortmund attack, but the question is, what can they do from this position? It's with Mats Hummels. David Alaba. Front Ribéry. The ball with James Rodriguez. Well, really, in this great competition, there's been continuity since season 2003-2004. The same format. Remember, there used to be a second group stage once upon a time, Lee?
Well, it did, and simply it didn't work. I think the format now is certainly a lot better. It's a bit more exciting, a bit earlier in the competition. It seemed to drag on a bit, that second phase, didn't it?
Jerome Boateng. This is Alaba. This is Müller. Here is Joshua Kimmich. Thomas Müller. And now the visionary Lewandowski. My goodness, the importance of getting there was not lost on the keeper. Given away by Bayern Munich. This is Robert Lewandowski. Thomas Müller. Goretzka. The tackle crisp and accurate. Maximilian Philipp. A new chap running towards goal. One man to beat. And the decision is one of offside here. Jerome Boateng. Bayern have given it away. Tremendous intuition to win it back. And the danger cleared. The ball with Marco Reus. That is how to put in a challenge. He's been a bit unfortunate in that the ball has gone out. Julian Weigl. Well, regaining possession for his side cleverly. And it could be for Thomas Müller. Kimmich. Thomas Müller. And here's Joshua Kimmich. Excellent challenge. Abdou Diallo. What's going to happen? Let's see what unfolds here tonight. I'm Derek Ray, here on the commentary position, joined by Lee Dixon to help me describe all the action. And we've got Champions League group stage action to bring you tonight. It is Borussia Dortmund up against Bayern Munich.
Yeah, the long road to the final starts here in game one. Always think that if you win your home games and don't lose your away games, you've got a good chance of progressing.
This is the lineup for Dortmund. An element of caution about this selection.
Yeah, 4-5-1, Derek. The 5 players behind the lone striker will need to support him. Looks very strong midfield offensively and also defensively. The back four will be protected throughout the game.
Well, here is the Bayern side. Manuel Neuer begins in goal. Mats Hummels starts with Jerome Boateng in central defence. And leading the attack today is the lethal Robert Lewandowski. Diallo on the ball. Well, it's a poor tackle. Attending to his defensive chores. Well, let's see, does he mean business? He's gone for power, Lee, but it's wide.
Well, no real direction, but the power was there. And you're right, it's just gone past the post.
And Marco Reus, usually so very creative, can be difficult to stop. Lee, in what way might he contribute here?
Well, he's strong, he's a good runner, but above all, he's intelligent. Just watch the positions he takes up on the pitch.
Lewandowski. Leon Goretzka. Good numerical situation. Betwixt and between that clearance. And meat and drink to the goalkeeper. And it's with Robert Lewandowski. James Rodriguez. And now Müller. Tremendous block. Thumped clear. This is Müller. Javi Martinez. And here is Ribéry. Well, a few years ago, there were many who wondered if Dortmund would still be around, but they certainly bounced back and, of course, got to the Champions League final in 2013. They are a fabulous football club, Lee.
Well, they are, and one word springs to mind for me, charisma. Really like this club. I think they've got everything that a neutral watching a game in the Champions League would cherish. A great ground, great atmosphere, both home and away when they turn up. And also, they've got a great kit.
And clears his lines. Here's Piszczek. Advantage, Borussia Dortmund. Christian Pulisic has lost it. Toprak. Here's Piszczek. Pulisic. Well, it's a fine-looking Dortmund attack, but the question... He's in with a chance. Oh, what a wonderful diving save.